Tell me, Chateau, you're a lawyer with a sharp eye. Don't you agree that Marguerite is even more beautiful than her portrait shows?
Of course, my dear Duke. She's a veritable paragon of female loveliness. You're most fortunate indeed, going to claim her as your wife.
I only hope she'll like living in Italy when I take her back there.
With you beside her, how could she help but adore the prospect?
Keep thinking of her father's will. She'll lose her inheritance if she doesn't marry.
Your Grace, must you torment yourself with such doubts? You've been sweethearts since you were children. And I can assure you, Marguerite is looking forward to your arrival with the greatest delight.
You've always been a good friend, Chateau.
Here it comes now.
Why are we stopping?
The French border guards. We may as well step out and stretch our legs for a few minutes.
Your papers, monsieur. And yours, monsieur?
Good work. This to keep your lips sealed. And should you forget it, there's another way in which it might be done even more conclusively. How's the Duke?
He will recover. On your way.
You know what to do with the Duke?
Just as we arranged. Basil, on your way.
It all happened in a very few moments. 4 bandits, all masked, all heavily armed. Your fiancé resisted. Rabat and I tried to help. 2 shots were fired. Both found their mark. The Duke toppled into the waters of the raging stream and was swept away.
Oh, Uncle, Uncle.
Tragic, my dear, tragic. I shall call on the Minister of Public Security and demand that neither men nor effort be spared to apprehend these scoundrels. Thank you for riding to us, my friend. You'll stay the night, of course. I shall show you and your companion to your rooms.
Try not to grieve so, mademoiselle. It would be the Duke's own wishes, I'm sure.
Thank you, monsieur.
My sincere regrets, mademoiselle.
Your rooms, gentlemen.
On a bridge at the border, you said, mademoiselle.
That's what they came to report. But it's a lie. I feel it. I swear it, you must believe me.
I'll believe anything from the lips of the daughter of my old friend.
Thank you, Monsieur le Comte. That's why I came to you, hoping you would help me.
Tell me, what does your uncle feel about what you have told me?
He pretends to believe his lawyer's tale, but I have proof of what I say.
Which is?
The ring. The ring I saw on the finger of Charcot's companion. It belonged to the Duke.
How can you be sure?
Because I gave it to him less than a year ago.
This man who wears the ring now, what's his name?
Rabat.
Rabat. And he's staying at your chateau?
Yes.
Jacopo, we will need 2 horses. 2? Jacopo and I are going to pay a visit to Monsieur Rabat. Carla, you will remain here with mademoiselle. Tell me, which room in your chateau does Rabat occupy? Don't move. Don't force me to kill you.
What have I done to you, monsieur? Why should you want my life?
That ring on your finger could be a reason. now you will answer a few questions.
What do you want to know?
The truth about the Duke of Rinaldi's death.
The Duke isn't dead. That's just a story Chateau invented. The Duke was abducted.
Abducted? Where? Where?
Chateau d'If.
Chateau d'If. A foolish move, my friend. I could easily take your life. But why should I save Chateau the trouble?
Chateau?
He'll hardly do less when he learns you have given me this information. Good news, my dear. The Duke of Rinaldi is alive.
Oh, praise the saints.
But he was abducted. For reasons I don't know.
But where is he? We must release him.
Easier said than done.
But why? Where have they taken him?
To the Chateau d'If.
Oh, no. The police will go to them. They'll release him.
No, it isn't that easy.
Why not?
Because someone at the Chateau d'If is part of this conspiracy. One side of the police, and they'd never let us find him. Alive or dead.
Then what can we do?
Get the Duke out.
It's easier for a man to pass through the eye of a needle than to break out of the Chateau d'If.
And hardly less so to break in.
You heard what the coachman said? Marguerite ordered him to drive her to the Count of Monte Cristo's house last night.
I don't like this. Monte Cristo was a very good friend of my late brother. If he's behind Rabat's disappearance...
We don't know that. There's no reason to believe your niece could tell him anything.
Well, I still think a sword thrust would have been surer than abducting Rinaldi.
And destroyed the only cards we have to play. The Duke of Rinaldi alive in the Chateau d'If gives us a powerful bargaining point if anything should go amiss.
What can go amiss? You said I'd get my brother's fortune if Marguerite was unmarried on Tuesday next.
And so you shall. But wills can be contested. Judges are only human. Marguerite would give 100 times the estate for the safe return of the Duke.
I'd still feel a lot more secure if I knew what happened to Rabat.
We'll take no chances. I'll ride to the Chateau d'If and make certain they're on guard.
Chateau d'If. It has a grim and foreboding look. One has to find himself a guest to appreciate how much.
Edmond, this venture has a dark taste. It's deliberately tempting fate.
We have tempted fate before, my friends. Let her do her worst. Did you get the boat?
By paying 3 times its worth and higher. When do we leave?
Midnight.
Edmond, this is the place where courage ends and folly begins. Trying to get into the Chateau d'If alone is madness.
It is necessary. And I know that unholy place only too well.
Know it well?
You didn't know that, my friend, did you? But then you know little about my past.
It's only the man I know today that matters to me, Edmond.
But I think now is the time for you to know of the past of the Count of Monte Cristo. To know why I must go to the Chateau d'If tonight, alone. It was some years ago that a young sailor named Edmond Dantès was to be married to the girl he loved. As gracious and beautiful a girl as heaven and earth has ever known. On the day of his marriage, he was arrested on a false charge of treason. Without trial, without the opportunity to defend himself, to protest his innocence, he was thrown into a cell in the subterranean dungeons of Chateau d'If, sentenced for the rest of his natural life. A cell where he was to spend the next 12 years. No, 12 centuries as time and the world passed him by. Do you know what it means, my friends, to spend 12 years of your life surrounded by 4 stone walls? Never to see the light of day, never to hear the sound of a human voice, never to see a human face. Your only knowledge that you are not alone in a dank, unfeeling world of cold stone comes once a day, when some unknown, unseen guard once a day shoves through the maggot-ridden slop that they call your daily food. But then one day, I did hear a sound. a scraping sound of metal against rock. For a moment, I paid no attention. But then I heard it again. It was coming from one wall of my cell. I could hear it plainly now, a scraping against stone. There was someone on the other side of that wall. Another human being. And so I met the men who tunneled his way from his cell to mine. The men who was to change the entire course of my life. Who was to eventually make me the Count of Monte Cristo. The Abbe Faria. In the years that followed, I would spend every available moment with the Abbe in his cell. The Abbe Faria possessed wisdom and knowledge given to few men upon this earth, and he imparted what he could to me. He taught me of history, literature, philosophy, and the harvest of the greatest minds of all times. But more than these, he taught me kindness and humility. To distill the anger and bitterness from my heart, taught me of men's injustice to men, and that the noblest virtue on earth was righting the wrong that has been done to another. And then, as his last parting gift to me before he died, he told me of the secret of a fabulous treasure, one which had been given to him to use for the benefit of humanity. And then in turn he entrusted me with it, to use as he would have done, to help the needy, cure the ill, free the oppressed, to be dedicated to the cause of all mankind. And then, one day, this great man died. The rigors of Chateau had finally wrought their toll. But there was one more thing the Abbe Faria did for me. He provided me with his burial shroud and the means of escaping from the Chateau. For when they hurled his body over the battlements, it was I, Edmond Dantès, who was wrapped within that sack of burlap and went plunging into the sea. I made my escape from that shroud. I made my way to the island of Monte Cristo and to the fabulous treasure there. That's when I became the Count of Monte Cristo, the man you know today. Now you realize why I know the Chateau so well, Carlo. Why you know why, with another man unjustly imprisoned there, I must go to rescue him. It's time to leave.
What of Jacopo and me? Are we just to wait?
Wait and pray. raise no alarm.
Just what is it you want?
You will take me to the Duke of Rinaldi. I know he's here. Take me to him.
I'm afraid not, my dear Count.
We've been expecting you, my dear Cristo. Permit me, Count, to introduce you. Monsieur Lantin, director of the Chateau d'If.
Welcome, Count. You are an unusual guest. But then I hear you're an unusual man.
I'm not inspired to return the compliment, monsieur.
So you bait me in my own den, do you?
Don't let him ruffle you, my dear Lantin. I'm sure there are ways here to curb such high spirits.
None more effective anywhere. Remove him. How long do you want Cristo to be my guest?
Since he will not be recorded in the official books as a prisoner, you may forget him completely.
It will be a pleasure.
Well, I see the service has improved here in the years.
How much longer does Edmond expect us to stay here? It was a mistake to let him go alone. If I have to spend another 24 hours, I'll explode. You're sure that from the Chateau d'If? Then, my friend, we have work to do.
Blundering fool. I'll have your head for this. Inform every guard. He must still be in the prison.
This time, my dear jailer, there'll be no time for pleasantries. You have your choice. The Duke of Rinaldi's freedom or this.
You must be insane. The passages are swarming with my guards.
Who will do exactly as you tell them. We are losing time.
Here.
Your Grace. Out here. Here, you'll need this.
Who are you, monsieur?
I'm the Count of Monte Cristo, and a friend. Believe me, I'll explain later, after our good jailer has conducted us to safety. Keep watch. If you want him alive, don't take another step. Order them to fall back and let us pass.
Do as he says.
If you insist.
Duke Rinaldi, meet my friends, Carlo and Jacopo.
Gentlemen, we seem to have timed things rather well.
Let's take along our bloodthirsty friend. We'll need him for a safe passage back home.
And here are the final papers, my dear friend. Since your niece failed to marry before the time indicated in your brother's will, you will now assume full control of the estate. Your legal advice is none too shrewd, monsieur. May I present the Duchess of Rinaldi?
What is this?
We were married at Versailles yesterday. Oh, permit me to introduce the witnesses at the ceremony.
You told me they were both safe under lock and key at the Chateau d'If.
So we were, monsieur. But it got somewhat monotonous, and we decided on a change of scenery. Jacopo, Carlo, I believe the prefect of police is awaiting your return, with some guests. Here is the deed to your estate, my dear. My wedding present.